Hello everyone, Soberoni of G&A Reviews here, and in honor of her latest buff and her snazzy new outfit, we'll be taking another look at Saber Alter. But before we do, we at G&A Reviews would like to take a minute to tell you about this video's sponsor, Lootcakes.
Hey guys, this is Rubidu of G&A Reviews, and today's video is brought to you by Lootcakes. Lootcakes allows gamers to share their purchasing data from free-to-play games in exchange for digital gift cards. Let's use myself as an example. I play a bunch of free-to-play games like FGO, Shadowverse, and Genshin Impact. As you know, I'm too casual to grind out resources for the most part, and I don't mind spending a little bit of money to get where I need to be to have fun. And with Lootcakes, I can get some of that money back into my pocket. How does it work? Easy. As long as you live in the US and have a Gmail account, all you have to do is sign up, link your email, and that's it. Once you add the games you want to play to your account, you can start earning Lootcakes immediately, and once you have enough, you can exchange for any gift card you want. No, seriously, any gift card you want. Hey, mind your business. Anywho, another cool feature of Lootcakes is having an alliance. Say that you don't want to whale your whole life away and spend money like a normal human being. When you join an alliance, you also get some Lootcakes whenever another member of your alliance makes a purchase. As you can see, we started our own little alliance called the G Nation. Please join us. It's so lonely. And if that isn't enough to convince you, for the month of August, Lootcakes is having a gift card giveaway. Just click the link in the description, make an account, link your email by the end of August, and boom, you'll have a chance to win a $50 gift card. Just like that. We're all fans of gacha games here, and with Lootcakes, we can be rewarded for all the effort and money used to roll for our favorite waifus and husbandos. So don't forget, make your account, link your email, join the alliance, and let's earn some loot together with Lootcakes. Now back to the video.
It's been a long time since we last covered Saber Alter. When she was originally released, she was without a doubt one of the premier 4-star servants in all of FGO. But the game has changed a lot since then, so the question becomes, how well has she aged, and just how good is this new buff on her really? If you're curious to find out, then make sure you click that like button, subscribe, and ring my bell so that you can catch all of these servant spotlights as they go up and you can help out the channel. But for now, without further ado, let's talk Alter. Saber Alter has recently received a strengthening quest in NA that transforms her instinct skill into Twilight Star. This skill now charges Alter's Noble Phantasm gauge by 20%, in addition to producing 20 crit stars. Surprisingly enough, despite being in the game since release, this is Saber Alter's first time receiving a buff. And that's largely because up until now, she's never really needed one. She's always been in a really good spot as one of the best offensive sabers around. But because FGO's gameplay has evolved so much since release, with so many new unique servants being added as well as mechanics, being a big buster beat stick isn't as much of a selling point anymore. Thankfully though, an NP charge skill is just what Saber needed to fit in with the rest of the more modern meta. Prior to this buff, Instinct was easily Alter's weakest skill, mostly because of the amount of crit stars that it generated, which wasn't that impressive, and because Alter herself had no way of utilizing those stars with a star absorb or something, which usually led to this just being a dead skill. But now it actually plays a pretty integral role in her kit. The charge helps set up her Noble Phantasm much more easily, which is where the bulk of her damage is. And being able to access your Noble Phantasm quicker is always a good thing for a servant. It makes Alter a little better for wave clearing, it helps her synergize with NP battery supports like Helena, and even the extra amount of stars that it generates can be useful for buster crit teams when using her alongside servants like Mordred or Rama. However, while this extra bit of utility can be nice and it does certainly help, it doesn't address Salter's core issues, which are her lack of versatility and her outdated kit. Salter is still one of the best 4-stars in the game when it comes to damage output. Her Noble Phantasm outdamages even most of the 5-star AoE sabers, and that has always been her strength. But as I mentioned earlier, With the game evolving and new mechanics like break bars and complex challenge quests being added, having a single turn of high burst damage isn't as good as it used to be. Salter lacks any real utility for dealing with hard content and boss fights. And because her damage is so centered around her non-spammable NP, her DPS isn't consistent. Her charisma is woefully out of date and does little to improve her face card damage, and she has no skills for relying on crits either, not to mention her overall lack of any defensive skills. She is still a one-dimensional servant who is best utilized for clearing waves with her powerful NP. But none of that is to say that Salter is bad though. She still has one of the strongest AoE Noble Phantasms of any 4-star servant, and most of the other 4-star Sabers in particular don't even come close. So she still excels in that niche, and there are plenty of ways to take advantage of that with the right team comps. Saber Alter really appreciates teammates who can provide her with NP charge or high uptime damage buffs to supplement her own weakened charisma. So servants like Shakespeare, Nero Bride, Summer Raiko, and Rhaenys are very strong with her. Shakespeare, Bride, and Rhaenys all provide really good NP charge and strong damage buffs for Salter, and in Rhaenys' case, her high star weight isn't as much of an issue since Salter doesn't rely on crits. Meanwhile, Summer Raiko is good if you plan on going full Buster Beat Stick and stacking a bunch of buffs on Salter for maximum DPS. For craft essences, go with any CE that buffs Buster cards and gives starting NP charge, like Aerial Drive, Beautiful Dreamer, Kaleidoscope, or Limited Zero. As for command codes, Da Vinci Chan can actually be pretty fun to use since it buffs Salter's NP damage by 15%, and she is a servant that depends heavily on maximizing NP damage. Overall, Salter's buff does help modernize her a bit, but she still needs quite a few improvements. She lacks consistent DPS, she can be difficult to keep around due to her lack of defensive skills and utility, and she is still overly slow and one-dimensional with her playstyle. However, she is still one of the best beat sticks that you can have at her rarity, especially when it comes to wave clearing, and her new NP charge skill gives her much quicker access to her most powerful attack, as well as better synergy with a lot of the top Buster supports. So all in all, Salter gets a B from me, but her costume gets an S. She's not bad, but not overly amazing either. Salter is basically built to do one job, and that's blow things up with her NP. And to her credit, she does do that well. However, I do wish that she had more to offer than that, especially given how much more demanding FGO is of its DPS servants nowadays. And for God's sake, DW, please buff her charisma. And those are my thoughts on Salter, but fear not, because if the past is anything to go by, me making this video means that Salter will get buffed in JP within the next 48 hours, and everyone can tell me how outdated this video is in the comments. But what do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, and if you haven't already, please do leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and subscribe if you really enjoyed it. Follow us over on Twitter, chill with us on Twitch, and join the party on our Discord, all linked in the description down below. Until next time, this is Saber Alter, signing out. Later.